I'm about to show you how to make your first $1,000 video editing online. I'm Jack Cole, a veteran freelance video editor. I've been in the game since Upwork actually paid real money. I've made multiple six figures as a freelance video editor online. Today, I'm going to give you guys 5 truths about the freelancing game to give you an idea of how you're going to make a bunch of cash. So first truth, this is a disclaimer. It is going to take a second. It's naturally going to take a moment. Don't expect to land your first job literally today, this second. For some of you, it might happen, but it will genuinely be rare. It'll probably take a week or two, potentially even a month. So expect, if you haven't got any momentum moving, that it's going to take a second. The freelancing game is a highly competitive place. So what does that mean? You'll need to put some solid legwork in to get the ball rolling. But I always love saying the phrase, the game gets greater later, because once the snowball effect kicks in and you've built momentum, you've got some, samples on your portfolio, you've got some case studies, you've got some testimonials, it really does get easy. So it might take you a few months to really get to your first consistent, couple $1,000 a month. But once you've got the ball rolling, you might actually go from $2K after 3 months all the way to $5K after another month or two. So you'll start to do rapid increases once you get the ball rolling. So that's the first truth. This isn't a job. No one's going to come and guarantee you a salary. And that also limits your ceiling, right? So the reason that why a job is so appealing, I guess, is because it's absolute security. We're going to give you $2,000 a month guaranteed. Just turn up here every day at 9 a.m. Now, that's great, but it also means you're capped at that. Maybe 9 years into the future, they give you a promotion and boost your income by like a couple grand a month. I'm not interested in that. So that's the first truth. Expect it to take a second to get the ball rolling. Now, second truth, the old age is dead. One of the core philosophies of my private members community, VP Plus, is that we train our editors how to be new age video editors. What does that mean? Well, in the freelancing world, right, the freelancing websites have rapidly become a thing of the past. I was an OG. I was back in the game 7-8 years ago when Upwork.com was amazing. I used to rinse new Upwork accounts every single day. I'd make a new Upwork account because they had like a maximum of like 30 proposals you could send. The next day I'd make another, the next day I'd make another. Then they limited it. You had to do extra verification. Then I started making YouTube videos telling people, hey, here's how you get past the verification. And then they sent me a cease and desist and threatened to sue me. That's a real story. Shout out to you, Upwork. I took the videos down. I think we're all cool now. I didn't actually get sued in the end. But at first, when you're new to the game, freelancing websites, they seem like amazing places. Wow, there's this job board full of loads of jobs. It's going to be incredible. I'm going to, look at all these jobs. I could land them all. And then you realize that there's some tenacious little kid in Southeast Asia who will literally do that job for $5 and work the entire day. And you're like, hold on, I can't compete with that little Southeast Asian killer. Of course, no one can. He's an absolute beast, and he's taking my work, he's taking your work, he's taking everybody's work. And a sad reality is he's driving the prices down. He's driving the market value down. Now, I got nothing against my Southeast Asian killers. Shout out to you guys. The hustle is the hustle. It is what it is. But what's happened on these freelance websites is prices have been diluted massively, which means it's probably not worth it. Now, I will actually go ahead and flip the script and say one thing kind of that contradicts what I just said. There are rare gems. If you've never made a single penny on the internet, freelance video editing or anything for that matter, I actually still think you should make a Upwork account and a Fiverr account, and you should at least look for the rare gems. I'm not saying it's going to be the most promising thing in the world, but a lot of the freelance game is having multiple points of contact, aka you have a social media working for you, you've got some Upwork stuff working for you, you've got some recommendation stuff working for you, you've got insert thing here working for you, and you've got a bunch of nets getting casted into different oceans. So if you've never made an actual penny, I actually do suggest, why not fire up an Upwork account, fire up a Fiverr account, and look for the rare gems. I wouldn't apply to most things because you're actually going to be getting ripped off, but there are rare gems based on one simple philosophy. When a random hirer or somebody wants to fill a role for a startup or company, whatever, wants to hire, oftentimes they do go there, right? Now, that doesn't mean that everything's going to be worth your while. I'd actually go ahead and say probably 90% of stuff won't be worth your while, but eventually there is some rare gems that you might have a perfect sample for, or you used to make Minecraft videos and a Minecraft guy posts a job there, or you used to do, promo videos for your dad's restaurant or your uncle's bar. All of a sudden, you've got a perfect sample, and those are the kind of jobs I'd approach on the freelance websites. I'd actually do laser-targeted approaches on jobs that you're a genuine perfect fit for, and that are the rare gems that aren't, trying to literally rip you off and penny pinch down the road. It is still hyper-competitive. You need an exact sample. Great. That's the second truth. Don't look at freelance websites as some holy grail. If you've never made a penny online, it can't hurt to have an account there, but I wouldn't assume that it's going to be the biggest moneymaker for you. It might make a couple quid for you here and there. It might make a few bucks for you, whatever the case may be, but it's going to be those rare gems. Awesome. Third truth: how much money you make as a video editor is not dependent on how good your skills are. It just isn't, okay? And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people misunderstand, because they focus on getting the best skills in the entire world and getting every preset pack and getting this plugin and that plugin, and their edits are incredible, and then no one's knocking at the door trying to hire them. So what does that mean? Well, I'll actually again go ahead and back a different point and kind of semi-contradict myself. Obviously, you do have to have good skills. You can't be a bad editor. I'm just saying that by the time you get to a 7 out of 10, the difference between 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 10 doesn't actually mean you're getting shitloads more clients. And in fact, a lot of the editors I know, they've actually tapped in with clients who are in the business niche, or who are doing VSLs, or who are doing educational content, course content, and they're making shitloads of money by doing very simple videos. So that means that they don't actually need the most insane plugin or whatever the case may be. It's not retention editing. It's actually just helping out in fulfilling a video product that's likely being sold or is a mechanism to make sales, like a VSL or whatever the case may be. And they're making bank just simply doing that, right? Shout out to one of my killers, Joe. I think either we've dropped the podcast or we haven't, but I'll have a link here regardless. Joe is doing the simplest videos in the entire world. He's just been given a $20,000 project. They could do it in 2 weeks. So he's going to make 10 grand a week for the next 2 weeks. That's the easiest edits ever. They're the simplest, boring edits ever. You just got 500 of them, and they take 15 minutes a pop. So that's one major truth to get over. Doesn't matter if you're the single best 10 out of 10 editor in the world. That doesn't actually necessarily mean you're going to land a billion clients, okay? It may seem like essentially an uphill battle landing clients, but once you actually do a damn good job and get them on a recurring basis, it's actually pretty easy. So the two major factors you should target, outside of obviously having a base level of acceptable quality. You obviously shouldn't be a bad editor. I'll emphasize that. But assuming you're a 7 or an 8 out of 10 editor, back in the day, I was a 6 out of 10 videographer. Maybe I'll talk about that in a bit. I still cleaned up. And I would joke about how bad my well, not bad, but how average my videography was, but how I was cleaning up in clients because I was great at the social media game. But the two major factors outside of being a good editor, you should be a good editor, are targeting long-term recurring clients and being able to perform client multiplication. So client multiplication is you've landed a client, okay? You've done a good job for that client. You've now made that client happy with your services, and at the minimum, they're coming back for more work, which means you've taken a single job and you haven't project hopped. You haven't finished that job, done an okay, iffy delivery, and then jump to the next one, which is building new relationships every single time. It's very tedious. It's very hard. Let's say even it worked out for you on Upwork. It worked out for you on Fiverr. You got a job. The job was $89 for the video, but you fucking outperformed. You crushed it. You absolutely killed it. They're texting you, this is the best stuff I've ever seen. I really have no feedback, or I have one little feedback. You misspelled whatever the micro feedback, the micro adjustment, the micro revision was, and you really just killed that. They're treating you as their editor now. They're coming back to you for more. So your first $1,000 online could literally be made of one single client. You grab that client for $100 a video, you do a good job, they give you 10 videos over the course of the next month. Sweet, amazing, fantastic. So what does that mean? That means that acquisition is just one part of the game. Fulfillment is arguably more important, because you can get interest. People can be interested. Hey, I'm interested in working with you. You look decent, but then they actually start working with you. You're actually shit. So acquisition is stage one. Fulfillment is stage two. Fulfillment is actually doing the thing, doing a damn good job, and then actually that person saying, wow, this person did a good job. I can't wait to work with them more. And $1,000 is a very low amount of money. You can make that online in your first month, your first week, your first 3 weeks, whatever. What does that mean? That means that one single client could be the person that pays you $1,000, okay? So acquisition is a great part of it. And in fact, the two most powerful ways you can acquire clients in the early days is probably going to be value first, right? That's probably one of them. The next is probably social media using before and afters, right? Have you heard about my before and after spiel? Have you heard about all the people in VP Plus who are literally just making videos on Twitter and clients come to them? If you haven't heard about that, I suggest you go through a couple of my other videos, because I broke it down in extensive detail what to do. In fact, go watch this video right here about a killer who joined VP Plus and in his first week makes $2,000. I just give away the formula, so go watch that one. But outside of that, value first is probably going to be one of your best ways to get clients in the early days. And what is value first? That means you're going to find a list of creators. Let's say you do like a Dream 10. Dream 100 is great. I love Dream 100. Let's do 100 creators, but it intimidates people. So for you, do a Dream 10, do a Dream 15. Who are the 10 creators or the 15 creators who are big enough to be able to pay you good cash, but small enough to be able to see your outreach and see your message? That's a good framework. Now, take one of their shitty videos and make it better and approach them. Literally say, what's up? Love your videos. I had some time this afternoon. I made it better. This is my gift to you. Post it wherever you want. But if you're interested, I'm happy to work on more of these. Wink, wink. And oftentimes that person's going to be quite stunned that, wow, you actually did this for me. Rule of reciprocation. You did something for me. I want to do something for you. And then also, if you've genuinely made the video better, you've improved their product, they actually want to work with you, and they don't need to see a portfolio and all that other bullshit because you've already done some work and put your money where your mouth is. They love it. They decide we're going to work with you. Awesome. Then you get one job, you over deliver, they love you even more, and then they give you recurring work into the future. Beautiful. So that's landing long-term recurring clients. But outside of that, if you did such a goddamn good job, you can also get client multiplication on your side, which means their boy phones them up. Yo, what's up, Terry? I'm looking for an editor. My editor goddamn sucks. I sent him 200 revisions and he comes back. I got another 200 revisions for him. Well, buddy, I've actually got this absolute beast. I want to give him to you. Just don't give him too much work because I need him as well. Boom. So content creators talk. Editors are actually hard to come by. In fact, people come to me and Cami C, my biz partner in VP Plus, and they want to hire straight out of VP Plus. That's why there's loads of editing jobs inside VP Plus. People get, significant retainer clients in VP Plus just because they hate having to vet editors. They come to VP, they say, you guys got good editors here. What can you put a job out in VP Plus for me? Awesome, cool. We're going to take somebody and we're going to give them a shitload of work. Amazing. Because it is actually tough to find editors who are consistently there, right? Oftentimes everyone's got a power cut or they got this happening, they got that happening, who are actually on point with the timing, right? They're punctual. They send an edit for Thursday when it was due on Thursday. They don't actually mess up the creator's upload schedule, whatever the case may be. And a lot of little factors which actually just either you do it right and you fit into a team or you don't and you cause headaches, right? So doing a good job for one client can actually turn into more because they do recommend. And also, if you're in a community like VP Plus, there's loads of recommendations going down. Amazing. So 50% of the battle is acquisition. The other 50% is fulfillment. And you could even argue 40% of the battle is acquisition, 60% is fulfillment, because fulfillment ends up being this even more powerful machine on the back end that will actually ensure your success into the future. Fifth and final truth. Let's go ahead and break it down. What's the fifth and final truth? Well, to recap, we've done a bunch. We've dropped a bunch of game here, and I told you this wasn't going to be like a do this first, then do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. This is just a raw rant on the state of the freelance game and how you can actually win, okay? So I hope you've extracted some value, and I've also given you a couple other videos to go to. So let's go ahead and talk right now about the fifth truth, right? The game gets greater later. Your first client might actually be a stepping stone client. Now, what does that mean? That means that these clients are people who you might have to step onto to get to the next level, okay? When Mario jumps on one little fucking layer and he jumps to the next and he jumps to the next, layer one is kind of like the stepping stone clients. What that means is that they might not be paying you shitloads of cash, but if you've never made $1,000 on the internet from video editing, I actually suggest take any work that comes to you, even if you know you're being ripped off, because you're basically getting paid work experience. You'd be doing that work for free anyways to make samples to outreach to people, or you'd be doing that work for free anyways to make samples for your portfolio, to make before and afters on YouTube, on Twitter, rather. See that video, right? That we broke the whole strategy down. I suggest that's the next one you watch if you haven't watched it. So you'd be doing the work anyways. So even if someone pays you anything in the early days, if you haven't made $1,000, just take it, right? Because that's a stepping stone client. That's essentially you getting the ball rolling, getting some paid work experience to actually perform a project. That's also you getting some firsthand experience of actually dealing with clients, the actual acquisition, fulfillment, communication process. And then on top of that, there's actually different types of value. There's career value and monetary value. What does that mean? That means that if that client's paying you shit money, then that's clearly not monetary value. But career value can still be extracted. What is career value, Jack? That's a great question. Career value is any substantial substance that you can actually go and use to get more clients. Testimonials, case studies, that is career value. So if you get a job that you think is paying you absolutely shit, but you've never made $1,000 on the internet, still take it, do the job, and extract the testimonial. That's career value. That's a tangible form of value you received that you can now use to get more clients because you can position yourself as a higher authority. You position yourself as someone who's already done this for other people, and you're just way more qualified because you have a video of somebody or text of somebody saying, this guy's the man, he absolutely crushed it, this person's the best, they absolutely killed my videos, blah, blah, blah. So that would be the play for you in the early days, is if you do have stepping stone clients, and it's very probable the first clients you get are going to be stepping stone clients. Like, most of you guys aren't going to go to just absolute gems right away, especially if you get lucky on a freelance website or whatever. But some of them could turn into long-term recurring clients and could actually be upsold and start paying you more. Some of them might actually be paying you decent in the first place. That's totally probable as well. But then some of them might just be straight stepping stone clients who you might want to set the strategy for, I'm going to extract career value from this person. I might not be extracting monetary value, but I'm still getting work experience. I'm still getting kind of like a firsthand in the field experience of working on these freelance jobs. And I'm going to do 3 to 5 videos for this person. I'm going to pay my dues. I'm going to make a little bit of money, and I'm going to extract a testimonial. Yo, what's up, Jake? You've been absolutely, it's been a pleasure to work with you. Been loving fulfilling your videos. Could you send me a testimonial today? It would really help. Cool. Awesome. Fantastic. You then take that testimonial, you use that on social media, you use that on a sales page, you use that even in outreach. Hey, here's what my last client just said about me. Bang. So you've extracted tangible value. And that right there is a breakdown of 5 harsh truths and realities about the freelancing game that will enable you to make your first $1,000 online. For some of you, it might happen this week. For some of you, it might happen next month. For some of you, it might take, weeks, months, whatever, right? Everyone has a different learning curve. But this game is a self-motivated game, aka some people do just fall off because they can't handle the pressure. They think, you know what, this is just too much. I have to be too proactive. I have to be doing too much every single day. Cool, no problem. This career is not for you. Freelancing is very PvP. It's player versus player. It's tough, right? Maybe you team up with your bro and you start an agency. Now it's like you're playing duos or whatever. But it's still PvP. It's still you guys versus the other people in the market. And ultimately, to me, that's fun. I love it. I've been able to succeed massively in the freelancing game, and we're training the next generation inside VP+. So with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, I am actually going to go ahead and give away 3 10% off codes. They're linked down below. Or actually, they're not linked down below. They're on the screen right now. Truth. Use code TRUTH at VP+. And you can get 10% off your first month. You get the first month for $44 instead of $50. Cool. I'm going to see you guys later. Click this video right now. This one's going to be an absolute banger. It's the one I talked about with the before and afters and giving away, the blue path in VP+. Great strategy, and you should click it right now. 3, 2, 1. See you there.